For the last decade, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater has gone unchallenged in the world of skateboard video games. But that changes this year with EA's Skate. Skate goes the opposite route of Tony Hawk, and instead of going insane with a crazy world full of wild roller coasters and other stuff that you grind and insane tricks, it brings it down to a more realistic level. You're just going around this big open city that just has a lot of cool lines. You're going to be grinding on stairs and, manualing down hubbas, and you're really just trying to find things in the environment that you can use to skate off of just like a normal skater would. So you're not going to see all of these super insane trick combos like you would in Tony Hawk, but you're still going to see stuff that would never be done in real life, mainly because you probably break your head on. Skate's real innovation is in its controls, and it's kind of got a Fight Night style control where most of the stuff you're going to do is going to be on the two thumbsticks. And the right thumbstick is used basically as your feet to kick the board and such. So you're going to flick down and then flick up. You're going to do kick flips, and it's very subtle movements that you have to do a wide variety of flips. You're going to do grabs with the triggers, which act as your hands. And then you can even press the brake button to let go of or take your feet off of the board so that you can do things like a Christ air or no foot air. Now what this does is it puts a lot more of the control in your hands, because you're not sitting there trying to remember these crazy combos like you would in Tony Hawk, and you're not just tapping a lot of buttons furiously. There's a lot more thought into it, and usually, in a good line, you're really just looking for one or two tricks instead of, 50 tricks like you might do in Hawk, which is kind of a cool feeling, because Skate is a lot more of a laid-back sort of a game, and it's a lot more of a community-oriented game. So you have this big city, San Vanalona, to ride around in, and there are 4 sections to it. There's the suburbs, the res, Old Town, and Downtown, and each has sort of its own personality and its own sort of unique qualities to it. Like the res, for example, is pretty much all downhill, so if you like bombing hills, you want to go fast and dodge traffic, or maybe ride right into a car, that's the place to go. The suburbs is going to be where you're going to find a lot of houses, so you can sneak into houses, find pools to drop into, get into these cool jams in pools, doing crazy air and awesome tricks. Downtown is the financial district, so there's going to be a lot of security around there, but there's going to also be a lot more stairs, a lot more other kind of stuff to grind, so if you're a real grind fan, that's where you want to go. And Old Town is sort of the rundown part of the city. It's sort of old school, and it's got a lot of little hidden alleyways, and it's sort of got a good blend of everything that the other areas of the city have. So there's a lot to find, and the city's so big and so wide open that you really could spend 10 hours just riding around the city trying to find new stuff and just having fun with it. But if you are goal-oriented, there is an actual career mode. It's pretty light on story, and actually it's kind of light on challenges too. Basically, you just want to become famous in this mode, and there are 2 real-world skateboard magazines that are part of this. There's Thrasher and there's Skateboard Mag. And each has its own set of challenges, and your goal is just to meet their challenges and basically get coverage in the magazines, get photos on the mags, do video footage, and eventually get the cover for each mag. And once you get the cover for those mags, you're going to unlock some real cool stuff, like for example, you'll unlock the X Games. What's cool about this is that most challenges during the game are actually voiced by sort of a laid-back, cool narrator who's kind of having fun with stuff. But when you get to the X Games, it gets really professional, and you actually have Sal Masekela, who actually does do commentary and announcing for X Games, and he actually will do it, and he's only in that one part of the game in the X Games, which is kind of a nice touch to it, because it does make it feel like it's the real X Games. And in the X Games, along with doing like a street contest, you're going to be hitting up the Mega Ramp. This is the big air ramp that's become such a huge hit for the last few years, and it's important that it's in this game because this game really was guided a lot by Danny Way, and Danny Way is a big innovator in skate. He's the guy who came up with the idea of the big air ramp. He's the guy that actually jumped over the Great Wall of China using this thing. So you're going to get to go down it, fly off of it, and this is where you're going to get your biggest air probably in the game. It's a lot of fun, but you will crash and crash and crash and crash, but you'll love doing it. Skate also is pretty cool online. You can get a few of your buddies together, go around online, just skate together if you want, or you can go into different challenges. The modes are pretty much the same as the challenges you're going to find in single player, but you do get to do them with friends. And more importantly, you can actually upload 30-second clips of your replays that you can edit. And if you do it online, you can actually do group replays. So you can actually come up with some really crazy choreographed stuff with your buddies, post them online for everybody to see and to vote on. there's a really cool community aspect to it, which really fits in with the skating world. Skate does have a few problems. While it is physics-based, a few times the physics sort of go a little bit wonky and things happen that shouldn't happen, like you'll plant on a wall perpendicular to the ground and still be okay, those kind of things. I'm just missing a few things, like you can't play as a female skater, you can't do any hand plants, though you will do a lot of face plants in the game, and there are no true lip tricks that you can do and no flatland tricks, so it's a little bit limited in that way, but there's just so much new in this game, and it's such a breath of fresh air from Tony Hawk that really anybody who used to like Tony Hawk and got bored with it, or anybody who still loves Tony Hawk, should absolutely give it a try, because it's something new, it's really fun, it's really well made, it's a very pretty game, and you could easily lose 20 or 30 hours in it and never even bother with the career mode. So should you get Skate? Absolutely. EA nailed it, and we gotta say thumbs up, and hopefully they'll come up with a Skate 2 where you can play as something more than just a guy who's a skeleton.